ngono se tu governo tal gasi tu ko ni ko sama tal gasi ke to boleh mo hendo mata kana bet ni no mutal gasi per tal kana ngoni hana personal duty pakai tal bukan do di grave kan sabe sen wala nga pakai tal we can kata we company kan salimani dia kan sa we hold responsible position in a better na pada ba sul governo ngoni mereka pakai nasin negara na kan sa achievement no da achievement uno ni taka se taka walo tu se taka pa nuha kan sa lituro ni nuha ratu na bulo na anti ya kan sini hendo ko taka tu na betan ya na mo sa rimbi kina kepakai sa we are nurturing a lost generation or a weak generation balta ni kan sini pas taka siko na kain doon men da pas taka o baka sa mataka ko tu di na quality time we kan susumay na mata bali do devotion o wamota go na bunu do musu lagi kina so na ka dale buli da mai koribuli ole ka kenda tu mata kende koribuli ole buli kina so na ya kabo ule rela da tomboy buki mai tomboy buki balte so na ngoni ka buli bata tu ko dua tani saratonga ko ngai la ko sa tomboy buki mai i vale na bunu le musu lagi tiko kina rearrange tagi kina so na buki bo so na paka fancy so na banga saka siya kita li tombo mai vi so na ngone roma no so mata vale sa saka tu ni ba buli kina se vosa talang beka so beka resini reida se do na opportunity me ra ba buli de ba na ngai do na kavango bi na dorbo o vosa na bi kada dorbo. Okay, it's cool to be rebellious. It's cool to smoke when you're still in young age. Makanya do cool tu. Nagay loka ni bale. Unang ongeli musu tiko ki non da via cool. Non da banca segasea, non totale ingenre. Non da via kata tiko menda dua tani tu. Non dei sulu pagaro non dei sulu. Sono non dei koti. Sono kaka kele ba. Ken da buli da in our peers. I vale serangal ko tiko rendin ni kuat. This is the place at home that we tone our children because of the quality time, because we want the good of tomorrow to come to them. Ya kanira ni ko pakai o taman dangakin arusi sini domai non robeta no rudi bakamai. Ya roba kata ko ndo mai sulin do na betan ni roba tanga arusi ti kubera na betan. Sando na boleh le weekend. Ko baka mo tatu ko.
Time to learn
Kau buat itu na family table tak bangga na so we can we are saying praise the Lord. Congratulations to you. But there are some people that you are out there. Oh, you learn a few tips and there, and maybe some people they say, oh, kanggo rin mo nga, kanggo ni maminga. Yeah, balita na record sa ito tiko kina kakero receive. We are receiving the call on the other side. The prayer request,
and reacting. You're reacting to the problem.
So we are sharing something that we can be proactive before it happens to us. When they are still in primary school, I believe that's the best place to nurture them. When they are still in the kindergarten, these are best place to nurture them. Because as soon as they step into the secondary school, I tell you, out there, where all the fish swim, including the shark and the whales. They are all swim in the same waters. And our children, very innocent, coming to year 9, year 10, and they see their seniors, the people that they look up to in their school, and they grab that the lifestyle that they live, the words that they say. Randini is saying, when we hear the children from primary schools saying out these big swear words. And I believe some of them, they don't mean what they're saying. Just because they hear it from somebody. I don't know. They hear it from the shopkeeper, they hear it from the bin seller, or they hear it from the school, or even from their friends. Because I believe they don't, most of their homes, they don't say those kind of words. But it's there. The problem, it's out there. And as I said, every problem, there is a solution. So we want to share what we're sharing today, the support. Our children need the support in whatever they do, their character, their education, the extracurriculums. And I know most of our young people, especially boys, they love sports, basketball, the swimming, the cricket, the soccer, the rugby, even the football and
Netball for
the
girls.
netball for girls, even the rugby for girls now.
Yeah.
What support that we
Yeah.
are providing, not only for them to excel, but also the character. Because when they have the character, if they have the opportunity to go anywhere, I believe they are in good foundation
Yeah.
to go through the challenges that is out
Yes,
there.
believe that.
And most of our young people, they are very talented. Yeah. It's the attitude that normally spoil
Yeah.
their talent that they have.
Yes.
Although
It takes away that, yeah.
although kabagalebu na ngunibiti, we learn very very fast
Yeah.
with what we see.
You're gifted, eh?
Yeah. Ninda rakavi se cricket se basketball se soccer. Na kanganda rin tiko totolo sa nonda episode. It's our character. Kombo baka endoli cancel takantiko na nonda progress se nonda tubu dali tali mendali binakasar nonda baka ronin gito.
Yeah.
Balta nga na kain da rin tiko balta ni ko nang gito sa rin nga discipline. Not only in the rugby field with our talents, but also off the field. O mo sa tiko nando na timi. Nando na timi wali boskina na bitan sing sawti. O gito na tiko. Kila iko gito tiko ko sangat tiko ni kila tiko ni ndo na scout e durti tu ba. Iko sangat kila tiko ni ndo na turanga si ndo na marama durti ya saraba tiko na mungito. O ko na kake tanga bola ero ndo na club mai opposisi ero ni invite tiko. Ya na numo tiko ko si ni rede wala nga nangito lo mandrara ngito. O ko na rede tiko na baka muri tiko no mai bala bala na sobe kana ngona ke muni tiko baka dorbo sono muni tereni. O ko na ndabe tuika na ndabe tu bango iwa o ko take note. Oh, he's a good player.
In
but,
and out.
Yeah. In is good on the field. But when I see when the time for training, he takes time, he speaks back, he's not doing 100%. Nanu matiko ni ora na scout. Ni dua na scout sa tiko boling ora na baka muri tiko na time tiko gori. Nangona ni gito, nangona talaga wako ko yang baka talaga kina nangona ni buli. Kembali kako ni toro baka mamanda.
Yeah.
Kembali non dei tabi na tumbutumbu menda biwa ungeti, non dei tabi na tumbutumbu na bosetiko non da sangati ko mendo na dorbo binaka. Sa wala nga mele rara ni gito no na dorbo binaka na buno tiko kina na koribuli na bondo na basi no na tiko na bula baka tiko non bula baka tambangone. Abuna kentaru inti ko may kina kentaru ni tumbu so kentaru do ni susu non dai tabi nga na baka buli detiko na non bulan na lubenda merbinaka sengola nga bibinaka na kanibuli sengola bibinaka na kanigito sengola ni binaka na kaira taka senga non rambula saranga na besinga non ri baka raw saranga na besinga ko tugun na character building na tareda kini non rambula mebinaka balada ke bada tu na kaya tubura baleta ni ratari daga mai na bula mebinaka erna viso taka na buno ertigo kina mebinaka na kaya na duruma ena visa mebinaka balada kenta tarada kitiko na bula mebinaka.
I believe that. Well, I know that we've been really down hard on the parents this morning. But for children that are taking the time to listen in as well, or if you get to listen to this program later, we also have a role to play. The parents have a role, and it's the parental role to us to counsel, or sometimes you blame them for your shortfalls, or sometimes you blame the things that they do, or the things that they say that you don't achieve well because of that. But I would like to challenge you as a child today. Sit down and relook at your whole life. If you, whatever age that you were in, and project your future. What are your likes, your dislikes? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And the foremost, like I always say, because we go to church and we believe in God, I will also bring the, that Bible verse that it says in Ephesians 6:1, that all children, they must, obey their parents. And not only that, to honor them. You must honor your parents. Your goodness are from your parents, your father and your mother. That's where your goodness is. All will go well, and also you will live a long life. And if you're listening to us today, or you get to listen to this program later, I would like to encourage you. If you have been rebellious at home, and because you're hitting back at your parents for your own reason, some things that you may want them to do for you, and you're not happy, and you try to hit back by not doing well in academics, or you do the opposite of what they desire of you, because you just want to make them angry. And if you're in that mode, I would like to ask you today, don't do that. Because your goodness comes from being obedient to your parents. And you need to obey your parents. I mean, when you're staying with your parents, I would say to you today, you are very blessed. You are very blessed that you can call your mom, mommy, now, gay, or you can look at your dad and you call, ta, daddy, you call out tamango, you have your dad with you, you have your parents. That is just a blessing. And if you take that for granted and you say it's supposed to happen, think and consider of how many families out there, they are not together. And how many children like you, they don't have the opportunity to call dad, they don't have the opportunity to call mom. You are blessed. Yeah. You have your parents with you. So blessed. Don't take that for granted. Never take that for granted. You know what? I used to be in that shoe. I used to take that for granted, that I always had my parents. When my father passed on, I had my mom. And I felt that I have the best parents in the world. And my life, I continue to live to please my parents. Some things that they tell me that I don't want to do, I'll just do it because I want to please my parents. And not until I have my grandchildren and having their family broken up, then I realize the blessing of being with your parents. I mean, my children, my grandchildren, I try and get their mom and their stepsisters to come and join us every Sunday. And that's the only time that they can call out mommy, because she's home just for that one day. But every day of their life, they don't call mom, they don't call dad. They don't have that opportunity because their parents have moved on and have their own families. I'm sharing this with you because you will not know how blessed you are until you look at them. And just having that blessing, that you hear them. I mean, apart from you calling them, then you have them giving you the time to sit and to talk with you. And I will never forget. I know I'm always sharing my family. I always do that because I find it more relatable to talk with us. Sometimes my family, I know my family listening. Sometimes they may not like me sharing about my family, but I would like to share it because I've seen, I've felt it. And even if your parents have the time to sit with you and talk with you, boy, that's added bonus. Because we have some who don't have parents to call mom and dad, and they don't even hear them. They don't have devotion together. They've never had anything together. They don't go to church together. And I remember Joshua one time during devotion, and he said it in his gratitude, and he said, today I'm grateful for Nana and Pa, and I'm grateful for Auntie Kola and Uncle Elijah. And I just want to share today that I never knew that I felt that hurt when I was in school and we came up for training. And I see my friends' dads and my friends' parents. They came for their interview, the PTIs, and they come and just stand on the side and watch them train. You know, when he said that, I'm a grandmother. And when I hear that, I know there's nothing that I can do. But I can only hear my grandchildren share it. And that is why I would like to share it here for you children. If you get to hear this program and you have your parents with you, appreciate them. Hug them and tell them, I love you, Dad. Hug them. Mom, I thank you. I thank you for my lunch. Mom, thank you for my meals. Mom, thank you for making up my bed. Thank you for my clothes. Tell them that you love them. Because you are really, really, really blessed. And if you don't know that and you take for granted every family is supposed to have a parents, I would like to tell you today there's a lot of children out there. They don't have parents with them. And I know for those of you children, some of you end up with your aunties, your uncles, your grandparents. Some, like there's no one else there to look after you, but you end up with total strangers to look after you. And every day your life is like here all the time. It's like, you know, if I do something wrong, I may not stay here longer. And you're always moving from one home to another. If that's the case with you, you know, hold on. And like what I said, I go to church. And if you believe in the God that I serve, you have this God with you.
The people that you have around you may not love you or may not be there for you. But always remember, there is a God. If you believe in God, there is a God that is always there for you. And He will help you, He will guide you, He will direct you, and He becomes the father to the fatherless. It says in the Word of God, in the Bible, because I go to church, in Psalm 68:5, He becomes the father to the fatherless. So if you don't have a daddy, remember you have a daddy there. You may not hear Him, but He can guide you. And I would like to talk from the children's end, because we're coming towards the end of the program. We have about 10 minutes. And I would like to encourage the children out there. And for you children that are actually listening, that have all the support you have, don't take that for granted. Do your best. Do your best academically, and also extracurriculum in whatever sport that you have chosen. And say that this is, I love this sport. I love cricket. I love swimming. At home, I have Carlos and Joshua and Othaniel. They all play rugby. And I have Israel. For Sonny in his school, they play tennis. And I have Israel that doesn't belong to any sport, but he's quite a sporty person. If you have them race at the Super Picnic Park, he beats them. Swimming, he loves the water. So one thing, I always provide counsel, but I don't push them. But I've been telling him, you need to find a sport that you like. Because if not, everybody else is doing what they like and what they love doing. And you are just here. So you will need to find a sport or to find something for you to win out. But sometimes when I come back from work, I see him, doing gym work and everything. He tries to do that, to supplement. So for you children, try and do your best, and don't never take your parents for granted. One day that daddy may not be there. You cannot determine the future. Anything can happen. Or one day your mom may not be there, because you will not determine whether they're going to be there with you. A lot of normal, generally thinking, we're thinking, okay, as they age and when they get old, then they will die. And you begin to live the life you live and act the way you act, because my parents, they're not that old, so they're not going to die. And they're good. And you continue to live the way that you live. But anything can happen to your parents while they're still young. Anything can happen. One of them can go at any time. Then what happens to you? So live your life being grateful and appreciative. And when you have your parents, try as much as possible to be obedient to your parents, because most children, they don't have parents. And for those children that come from broken homes and being housed or given love from other families, do the best that you can. And nothing can bring back your parents if they've passed on. Nothing can bring them together if they've gone their separate ways. But at least don't allow the decisions that they made to define you. You move on, take ownership that this is what happened, and accept the reality as you're in, and work yourself out from there. Because if not, if you always have that sinking feeling, oh, my mom left, or my dad left, you'll waste a lot of time reminiscing what happened, and you lose focus of what is at hand in front of you. So you may not achieve as what you're supposed to achieve. So forget about what you're going through, because they've already done enough damage in your life. They've moved their separate ways, and that's damaging to you already. So don't waste your thoughts or your time wishing that things could have been normal. Realistically and practically take ownership of where you are and what is your current situation, and move forward. And be ready to tackle what is out there, because life is worth living. And be encouraged. And if you're playing rugby or you're playing other sports, playing basketball, playing swimming, do your best. I always tell my grandchildren, and I know, sometimes they give me that kind of, look, kids, that it's like, Nana, I know, like the kind of look, and I know you always give the kind of look to your parents as well, no matter how many times you remind them, but I'll always remind them. Before you do anything, pray. Before you run out to the rugby field and for training, pray. Pray for God to save you from any injuries that can happen to you. And after you finish, you pray. You pray. And I know you don't have to close your eyes. Pray from your heart and commit to God to save you and also to protect you wherever you go. In every step of the way, you need to do that. And even my children, they're grown up now. They have their own families. And sometimes they're walking up the door and I say, okay, pray, please, people be careful when you're driving on the road. Stay awake. If you know you cannot, please park and slip it off. have a power nap before you move on. It's always parents, always moms, always grandmothers and grandpas talking. Sometimes it's like, generic. It's like, okay, there she goes again. It's like coming from one ear, go to the other ear. But you are blessed because you can hear that kind of reminders, while most of the children don't even have that reminder. And even some children, something's happening in their life, no one knows, and no one is even running around for them because they become neglected children. So feel blessed and stand up and take ownership of your life and push yourself to do your best. For children in different parts of the world, academically, pray about it. And in your extracurriculum, do your best. Whatever you can do, do your best. And most of all, I'll bring you back to that from the believer point of view, that you must honor your father and must honor your mother. Because it doesn't end there. It says that all will go well. What will go well? All will go well. If you play in sports, all will go well. Then it says that it may make you live longer. So all other children that may have their life cut short, you will not know whether, that stems from being disobedient or maybe growing up and you do all those things, you don't honor your parents. I believe it's the word of God. So things happen. And just to be on the right side and to do the right thing at the right time, like what Gasile was saying for us this morning, when you choose the wrong crowd, being at the wrong place, doing the wrong things and at the wrong time, it can cut off your future. It can take your whole future out. Because if you're involved in somebody, it becomes fatal and somebody died, or you be involved in a brawl and do a langakina, then you spend years in prison and lost years of your life. Or you come into a party and you never know when you pick up a drink, it's already spiked and other things happen. So we would like to be that voice of reminder to us. Live your life right, honor your parents, and also push yourself to be the better version of your life. I'll give this time to Gasile if anything that he wants to share before we wrap up for today.
Yeah, for children, there's something special about the parents.
Yeah.
Because if the Word of God says that, there's something special about the parents. You will live a long life and everything will be well, just by honoring them.
Yes.
Or obeying what they say. And the half of the job is already done just because you honoring your parents and you obey your father and your mother. Or obey your parents and honor your father and your mother. It's something like obey your parents, that means both of them do what they telling you to do, and honor them. That honor is something that you respect and you don't come against them. And that is the word of the promise. So that means something special about your parents. For those of you, as Randini already shared, those of you that have your parents still alive, I tell you, you are blessed because they are still alive. And there are children out there, they are seeing you, hearing you. When they come around, you call them by their names, daddy, mommy, or ta, na. And some of the children, they don't have that opportunity to call that name. Calling out is foreign to them, as we heard Randini sharing today. So we want to encourage you all the way from Parramatta in the New South Wales in Australia. For those of you that are living here in Australia, those of you are living abroad, New Zealand and United States, and those of you that are in Europe, sometimes we are so taken up by our peers and our friends, we tend to forget our parents. Until the day that something happened, then we turn around and it's too late. And when it's too late, remember, all those blessings that are stated in the Bible, you are missing out because you cannot do anything to bring about or to bring again what you can do to receive that blessing. Avia viva o getu ngani weekend ni beri mai tapat ko na program binango na vito ko ni weekend na tama kina tina beri na lubenda isa tu talaga no daytar weekend na ngone. There are duties, there are responsibility, for us young people that you are out there. If your parents or those that are looking after you, that they still alive, appreciate them and try to receive the blessings from them while they're still alive. Because the world is continuing to move in such a rate that is very fast.
Yeah.
By the time that we turn around, both for parents, by the time we turn around, they are already grown up and mature, they move on. And for us children, by the time we turn around, they are no longer there. So we want to encourage you this wonderful morning. Family table talk. That the blessings are in those that are our parents or those that they look after us.
Yeah. And doesn't only rest with the children that are still going to school or have their lives, by the parents, is for us as well. How, as old as you are, maybe in the 50s or 60s, you still have your parents alive. Tell them that you love them, wherever they are. If you're abroad, try and have video call. I have this a friend of mine that lives in America, and she said, we can talk for hours with my mom. I can be, because I live in and I do my work, I'll keep the video on and then we just talk. Whatever, if I'm washing the dishes or doing the work, and we just talk, we continue to talk. And we can talk for hours. And I have another one from Christchurch that she said, I call my mom 3 or 4 times a day and call my parents just to talk with them. Because when something happened to their lives, there's nothing that you can do to bring back, or no matter how much you love them. And the big things and the good things that you will come and do for them when they pass on, they will not know. But while they're still alive, tell them that you love them. And also a sibling, while they're still alive, tell them that you love them. And tell your brother, tell your sister that you love them. I lack in that. I have my 2 brothers in Lautoka, and I have a brother in Ba. I like to do that every now and then. It's only an afterthought. Or if we're going that way, then I remember to pop in. And I always forget to tell them that I love them. Because at times when they pass on, and then we're doing all the running around, but when they were alive, they would have appreciated just for you to pop in and say hello. And tell them that you really, really love them. So if you have your parents staying with you, you're really blessed. Or if you have your mom or your dad staying with you, you are really, really blessed. That you can see them every day, that you can hear them every day. What a blessing. I'm talking about us, for those that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, we were talking about the small children. Now we're talking about us as grown-ups with our parents as well. Yesterday we came on the flight. We had this couple, Peter and Sharon Bali. And Peter was sharing with Gasilevu that they coming into Sydney to visit his brother. And he said, for so long, I haven't seen him. For so long, we haven't visited them. So they're here for a few days just to visit. And, this kind of thing. They travel to come and check on sibling. You don't need to travel for those of you who cannot afford or may be able to do that, but just give them a call or tell them that you love them. And tell your children that you love them. Tell your parents that you love them. What a good life you can have, or satisfaction that everybody can have when there is so much love that we can share. So on that note, we say thank you. And thank you for joining us. And also would like to acknowledge the team that is out here. We have the Sukani family that are actually hosting us this morning, all the way from Parramatta in Australia. We have Emmanuel and Grace. And thank you. Great team on the media right here from Australia. Just so all over the world, you can be part of this program as well. So once again, Binaka Bakalevu, and have a blessed day today.
A family is an epitome of God's love towards mankind. God designed us to live in families, and the Bible reveals that family relationships are important to Him.
But as a believer, do you feel that you're still struggling?
Maybe you're still struggling with your relationship,
Struggling with your finances?
struggling at work,
With your social life?
or with your spiritual life.
We invite you to join us
On our Family Table Talk every Saturday,
at 7:30 a.m. on MyTV.
or catch us on our Facebook page.